But to start the show, journalist Rachel Carlisle has written about the burdens involved with Christmas present buying. She mentions one internet forum that has set up pre-Christmas No Unnecessary Present Pact, which allows you to break the expensive cycle of buying gifts for extended friends and family. So, when it comes to, you know, splashing out, do you feel obliged to buy presents for certain people?
I don't feel obliged, but I love doing it. And every year I think I'll cut down, because I am the kind of person, I used to get sweets for the ladies in the bank, the butcher, the baker. Oh, I was there with my little... And then I realised they must think I was a bit sad and didn't have a life, really. But I do try to cut down. Now I've got my sons are 26 and 21 and 20. They get very expensive. But so I have to do stockings, you know, so they have to be done. And I try to do it over the year, so I'm ready for these stockings. And actually...
Oh, Lynda.
Well, it's very important that Santa Claus comes to you.
Not in February, it's not.
I just think it's the only time to give gifts, and I just love the whole idea of them all under the tree. The trouble is, of course, as I say, it's difficult to make a lot of gifts or make them go a long way when they get older, so that's why I do the stockings.
But what about sort of if, like, random Sally Snodgrass
from
number 4 gives you a present?
Yes, I've got a present drawer, see? I've got a special drawer. So if somebody tries to catch me out, I go, just a moment, and I run into my present.
Do you?
I present them with a... Yes, I had Biggins came to dinner on Saturday, and I gave him a present from under the tree, and, yeah, I love it. I love giving presents to people.
I do. I mean, because...
You might get one for me, actually, as
really?
it happens. Yes, over Christmas.
Well, I saw the present that Andrea's given to our makeup team. It looks like, you know, like in a really posh magazine when they have, like, posh Christmas. It looks like that.
I didn't wrap it. It was just bought like that.
Oh, was it? Oh, well, it's rubbish.
Maybe there's nothing inside.
It's just really lovely packaging. Just the box. No, I mean, I appreciate that. But at the same time, if you give me a present, then I'm going to have to feel obliged to give you one. And unlike you, which will surprise people, I didn't start shopping in February for my Christmas presents. Because we've been abroad for the last 2 years on a cruise, it's been fantastic for me because it's taken all the stress out of it. Because we've decided... No, except obviously Santa comes for Louis, but he gets 2 presents from Santa on the ship, and then when we come back, he's got another present. Because it was actually starting to make me feel quite ill, because we would normally spend the Christmas in the northeast, so my sister's got 3 children who are sort of 12, 15, 17. And we do these piles. And, of course, the more expensive things are now that big, and you're still trying to do a pile.
Oh, I agree.
So it's about £90 million per child. And literally, there's so many, they're just doing that. And I noticed that Louis was literally just doing that. So it's actually been quite nice that now he's, you know, expecting these 2 little things. But I'm the worst wrapper. In fact, I stopped wrapping, and they just go in a gift bag now.
I think it's a lot of presents.
No, personally, I don't. But that's mainly because I think you get to, well, I've got to a stage with my friends where we're all maybe a bit short of money, as most people are at the moment. And you go, well, you know, we're spending. We all love each other. We're all really good friends. Let's just call it an amnesty this year. We're not doing presents. So I'm really lucky. I didn't need to start in February because, frankly, other than Molly, my daughter, I'm not really buying anybody else.
And also, can I say as well, Merry Christmas to everybody I love, because this is now the 5th year that I haven't done Christmas cards, but I do love you all, because I just think what I can understand is I understand giving... Sorry. It's
this is not the place to use your cheap ruses not to send Christmas cards.
Although, Denise, saying that, you know, I'm a bit stuck. I don't know what to get for my friend Howard. Howard, if you're watching, I don't know what to get you this year.
Poor Howard.
And Steve as well, if you're watching, you're not getting anything.
Howard.
No, Howard. No, they've never met. But speaking of, you know, present buying and all that sort of stuff, you know, I touched on, you know, what I got for the makeup team. Always buy the makeup team a nice prezzy. Otherwise, it ain't radio.
Can I just say that my friend Rose's daughter has made me, needlepoint made me this little stocking. It's like a little old-fashioned stocking. Beautiful, beautiful needlepoint. And because I get everybody a stocking in my house, I've hung this on the door. Hopefully, somebody might fill my stocking.
Lynda Bellingham, you fill yours beautifully. You certainly do. Now, Paul Potts, he won, you know, Britain's Got Talent. Now, apparently he's admitted, you know, in past times, things are a little bit more frugal. He used to wrap presents in newspaper, in old newspaper. He says he still does it now. Apparently old habits are hard to get rid of. Saw old newspapers. Would you ever like to get a present that wasn't particularly well wrapped? Would that bother you or not bother you?
Well, I have to say, you know, it could look very attractive if it's nicely folded. What you don't want is the newspaper like the fish and chips, you know, kind of all scrunched up and thrown at you. But on the other hand, if that's all you've got, and you at least fold the corners down and... Why not?
No,
You know,
do
Do you think he uses that for loo paper as well?
Oh, I don't know what's got
Doesn't it depend what the paper is? It depends what the paper is. If it's some, you know, awful headline in a paper that you may not like or read,
That's
then maybe
true.
you wouldn't want your presents delivered
But
in
I
it.
used to, I remember, you know, same sort of thing years ago. You know, I was living in my bedsit and all that sort of stuff. Oh, did you hear that? Just
really-
came from
yeah.
nowhere. Same sort of thing, but I used to get, you know, the parcel paper, the, you know, brown paper packages tied up with string. I used to do that, and then I'd go to the park and get a load of autumn leaves, you know, that have fallen, dry them, and just put some glue and some gold glitter on. It looks really nice. And all it is brown paper, string, and some free leaves.
Marvellous.
You trying to get a job on
Handy
Blue
hint.
Peter?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
She
I
knows
quite
what to do,
liked
sticky
it.
about plastic.
Yeah.
My ex, who I have to say bought fantastic presents, if you're watching, but he would never, ever wrap anything himself. He would only ever buy anything in a shop where they did all the wrapping for you.
Yeah, that's
and it was slightly cheating, but I have to say what was inside was well worth it. Yeah, oh yeah, it was
I
good
don't think
present
men
buyer.
do wrapping very much, though, do they? Because it's always, darling, will you do that? You do it much better than me.
It is-
That
frankly,
old
we
cop
do.
out.
But except that the trouble is, if you have it gift wrapped in a shop, it's all very well. You know, people send their secretaries out, don't they? I've never known a man had a secretary. Never mind send out for a present. But
I'm still
I think that-
secretary, so how do I do that?
well, the nice
I
thing.
bought myself this. There you go.
Well,
There's a bill.
yeah, but the nice thing is about wrapping the presents.
Yeah.
Is, it sounds, you know, very sort of anal, but the nice thing is that you're thinking about the person you're
Yes.
wrapping it for. That's
And
the whole
also, there's no
purpose of the
surprise, because
exercise.
if you get something, you know, that the shop has wrapped, it's normally got the name of the shop on the ribbon, so you go, oh, that's, you know, whatever. Whatever.
Well, of course, there are some people that would only open a present that had certain very posh names. No, it's not a...
Yeah. OK, time for us to take a break, but still to come, Sir